Gambling in a casino can be very entertaining and potentially profitable, but what happens when that itch is a little bit too much and it's best to back away? I found myself in that situation and I ended up creating a flowchart where I list out all the reasons why I feel tempted and counter reasons why it's not a good idea. And you know what? It helped me out tremendously, and I want to share that with you guys as well. But before we get into it, if you could do me a huge favor, like and subscribe, that would help me out tremendously. I'm focused on improving mindset, kicking bad habits, and much more. And when I see that it's liked and I get more subscribers, it lets me know that I'm on the right path. So with that being said, let's get started. And you know, stuff's about to get real when the nerdy glasses come on. All right, I'm gonna share my screen with you. And I created the flowchart as mentioned. Now, I have to make a quick disclaimer that I'm not a professional counselor, psychiatrist, nothing of that nature. So if you are seeking professional help, please seek that out because this is not it. These are just tools and techniques that, in my own personal opinion, help me out. So first thing that I did is I listed out the problem. And I'm going to make this big right here. And I am tempted to go out gambling. And I know it's not the best use of my time, funds, nor connecting with people. So I listed out 10 solutions all right here that we'll be addressing in the flowchart. And in case you don't want to watch the video, you just want to look at it because you know dang well exactly which category is the thing that's troubling you, I'm going to leave a link in the description and you can pull up this flowchart for yourself, look at it, examine it, print it out for later, send it to somebody else, however is most beneficial. So we're going to start at the very beginning where I just say, hey, I want to gamble, and for me it was blackjack because I like counting cards and I think that I got an edge, and I think I could make a lot of money. So that is that internal temptation. That's the big one for me. And then I'm tempted to go out gambling, and I'm like, well, I'm looking at this flowchart, so I already know subconsciously this isn't the best idea. Otherwise, I'd already be there. So what does that tell me? It means that, hey, I have a craving, desire, and my mind and gut is telling me it's best not to do it. So there's a conflict. So let's go over what are some of the reasons why I know that's not a good idea. And we'll take a look at the different categories. We'll start off with money, then we'll transition over to, let's say it could be time. Number 3 is it could potentially turn into an addiction, and 4 is the surroundings. So let's start off with money. The most obvious is, well, are all my debts and loans paid off? Because if they're not, that's probably not the best idea, which is why we branch out over here and say, yeah, do I really think that's wise? It'd be different if I'm at $0, I got nothing. But if I already have to pay other people, then that, in the forms of credit cards, loans, then that's not responsible. I'm putting myself further into the hole, and that is not a great idea, so best not to do it. Okay, but let's just say I'm in a perfect situation where my debts and loans are all paid off. Okay, how much do I feel comfortable losing? Is it $20, $100, $500? Because that's something that I would want to assess before actually hitting up the casino. But it's not that simple, because I want to go down and ask myself other questions before I really commit and think like, okay, it's acceptable for me to do this, which is number 1, am I comfortable losing that money? And what if I were to pretend that I lost it? What could I have bought with that? Because if I feel down like, oh man, I could have, I'm needing, let's say, a new bed or something of that nature, I could have used that money to buy the bed, I'd be feeling really bad about it. So that is a great question to ask myself. If I still feel tempted, let's keep going. Everything adds up. It stacks. So even though at this point in time, maybe $100 this month may not feel like a lot, if I were to do that every single month, that is $1,200 a year. And am I still itching to go? What if I feel like, I could double my money? Another aspect is to realize that, hey, the house always has an edge. And if I play long enough, the odds are going to be in their favor. Now, there are exceptions when it comes to, let's say, counting blackjack or counting cards in blackjack, but that does require a ton of work and skill. And there's other factors to it as well, and the odds may not be that great. Like, you still got an edge, but it takes a lot of time, which brings us up to the next point. It's like, even if I did spend countless hours trying to increase the odds slightly in my favor, is this worth it, or would it have been better for me to actually focus my time and my efforts developing another skill? A skill that would help me get paid and also provide value to the world. If I still am like, I'm on the fence, then it's like, okay, do I feel comfortable telling a family member or friend how much I'm risking and what I'm doing? If they're cool with it, cool. But if they're kind of giving me some concern, some shock, it could give me a point for me to reconsider. Because if I have nothing to hide, I'm like, hey, I'm going to the casino, $100 once a year. They'd be like, oh, okay, cool. But if it's something more and they're concerned, something to reconsider. And if I'm still wanting to go, then I need to make sure I only take as much that I'm willing to lose. Do not take a debit card, because then I'm just going to access and take out more money if I'm on a losing streak. And then finally, I need to keep a log of how much I won or lost, because if I go 12 times a year, I may be thinking like, I didn't lose that much. I came out a little ahead. Like you make the numbers fuzzy, but if you actually keep track and say, oh shoot, I'm losing like $500 a year doing this, maybe I need to reconsider. So that is the aspect on the money side. Now let's think about time. Well, by going out to the casino, most naturally, it's going to take time. Could I be spending that time more productively? Also, how do I know that I'm going to be leaving the casino in a good mood? Because if I lost a ton, I may not be happy about it. I also have to consider the amount of effort I have to get the cash, drive, park, walk, play for an extended period of time, cash the chips, walk back to the car, drive home, and potentially take a shower because of the secondhand smoke. Now, wherever you're located or the casino, maybe they don't allow smoking, but again, that is just a lot of effort that gets put in. So this is potentially hours of my day gone. Did I work out? Did I meditate? Did I read? Did I build any other skill in the meantime that could have been better spent? Because if I did everything and been super productive in the week, then maybe that is an aspect. But if I haven't, maybe I should be spending my time there. But there is one guarantee. I'm going to spend time. Like time, hours being placed there. So unless my routine and everything is really budgeted, it's not going to be a good use of my time. And this goes down to what we described, is that, well, if I didn't really count and budget my time for the week, then maybe going to the casino is not the best idea either. Another aspect is the addiction, because even though it's fun, it can be a little bit too much of a good thing. So there's a major difference between addiction and something being fun, recreational activity. So I ask myself these questions. Am I falling behind on responsibilities and relationships? What's an acceptable amount of time that I can actually go to the casino on a monthly and yearly basis? Am I thinking about it frequently? Am I financially in a good spot? And am I agitated if I can't go? For any of these questions, maybe they can help frame my mind in a better way to say, like, yeah, there's probably something better than going to the casino. And you know what? Just for right now, let's take a break for a bit, focus on improving other aspects. And after some amount of time, if I'm still in a good position, it's a reasonable, healthy thing to still do, then I can reconsider going. And lastly is the surroundings. Now, this is just my opinion, and this is not to say like the place is bad or it's not great people. This is just my opinion that the situation or the scenario doesn't necessarily invite the best quality type of people, potentially. And this is just my opinion. And it's not to say that everybody there is bad, but yeah, it's not the healthiest because it has smoking. There may be other people that are addicted to the gambling, but then also addicted to other things because maybe it attracts people that have addictive personalities. So this can not be the greatest places, both mentally and physically. As mentioned, certain casinos do allow for smoking, so then you're exposed to secondhand smoke. And yeah, you may not be surrounded by the most positive and, motivated people. And you are the sum of the top 5 people that you surround yourself with. So it doesn't mean like you're going to be surrounding yourself with these people all the time, but some may have gambling addictions or other unhealthy habits, and you're exposing yourself to that and potentially connecting and seeing more of these people as well. So if you continually go, you're going to see the same people and you may eventually connect with them. Again, not everybody falls into this criteria, but it's an increased chance as opposed to, like, let's say, going to the gym. So then it raises the question, like, okay, we're going to the casino, but are there other places that have friendly people and potentially with more positive attributes? What about a library, a gym, a volunteer center, or a coffee shop? These environments can influence me, so I want to place myself in a place where the interactions are more likely to improve my life rather than decrease it. So that is my flowchart, but you know what? Let's put the camera back on me. We're taking off the glasses. What are your thoughts? Am I on the right path or am I out of line here? Because, again, this is me in my situation. It's not professional help in any way. This is just my personal opinion, tools, and techniques. I'd love to hear your thoughts, or maybe some other topics that I can cover in a flowchart that could help you out. So if you like this video, you like what you heard, you agree with me, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.